Are you thinking about a side hustle? I hear a lot of talk from entrepreneurs and other coaches about like, if you're not all in, then it's not a legit business. And I think that's a lie that we've got to move beyond. There are a lot of great businesses that started out as a side hustle, but we've got to make sure that your side hustle does not get put on the back burner when it comes to your busy life. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can get notified every time we release new content. I'm Amy Walker, Client Acquisition Specialist. My job is to help you find the simplest path to consistently acquiring your dream clients. Before we jump into it, I would love to hear from you. What is your side hustle? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. The challenge with a side hustle is that you've got to build your marketing, you've got to build out your sales, you've got to work on your product. You have all of the same responsibilities that a full-time business owner has, but you have a lot less time to get things done. And you have a lot of distractions. You probably still have a full-time job. You probably still have a lot of responsibilities with your family. And so there's a lot of demands on your time. And it's really common for people who are doing their business as a side hustle or part-time to say things like, if I just had more time, then it would all work well. Or if I could just quit my job, then I could dedicate enough time to my business. You guys, this is a lie. And we are going to show you today how you can be very successful with your part-time side hustle business in order to transition into being full-time. Because I will tell you, I've seen people go from having an unsuccessful side hustle to quitting their job to now having an unsuccessful full-time business that doesn't pay their bills and they're freaking out. Instead, let's just make that side hustle win so that you know you can rely on it when you're ready to transition out of your full-time gig. So the first thing we gotta do is we gotta get rid of some of the junky thinking that people have around side hustles. One is that if it's not full-time, it's not real. That's ridiculous. Every business starts out small and yours does too. So if you've got people in your life that are chirping in your ear that you should just focus on your full-time job because it's reliable and dependable, you guys, you could get laid off tomorrow. You have no idea. It is so smart to have a business to fall back on in uncertain times. The second lie is that you have to be full-time in order to be successful. You can be incredibly successful in a part-time gig if you're doing it strategically. The next thing I want you to get rid of is all the excuses. Your job, your spouse, your kids, your underwater basket weaving class and association that you're the president of. I don't care about all of those excuses. I care that you're committed to the results of your business. And the last one that sometimes comes up is when you are busy and you have a lot of demands, sometimes you feel like spending time on that side hustle is selfish. It is not. The best thing that you can do for you and your family and the people that you love is build an incredibly successful company. So what do we do to get this side hustle working well for us? Number one is you've got to focus on your income producing activities. When you don't have a lot of time to dedicate to the business, your income producing activities are critical and they come first. So these are the things that you do that actually make you money. Number one is going to be sales conversations. That is the primary thing that you should be doing. Number two is anything that sets up sales conversations. Everything else, you're going to have to budget how much time you can spend there. And I know that there's a lot of fun things that you would like to be doing, like you'd love to master social media, or you'd love to get into branding. But if it's not directly bringing your sales, you probably don't have time to dedicate to it in large quantities. My second tip for you is get some help. Now that can look differently. It could be that you have a virtual assistant working in the Philippines, which I love to do. If you haven't yet, check out our playlist. We've got a whole playlist on how to hire inexpensive help. Or it could look like you bring in somebody to work commission-based, or you swap skills, or you get a better system that allows you to have some automation built in, but you cannot run this business all by yourself. You are going to need some help. When I started my business, I had a husband who was working nights, I had a newborn baby, an 18-month-old, 3 kids in school. I truly could not do the business on my own. Like, it just was not going to get done. So I brought in some help from the very beginning, and it helped us grow so much faster than if it had all had to rely on me. Is this helpful so far? If so, I would love for you to give us a like. The next thing that I want you to do is set a specific sales goal every month. It is amazing to me how many business owners function without a sales goal. Like, it's crazy. You have to have a sales goal, especially if you're part-time. Now, your sales goal as someone who's part-time might be smaller than somebody who's full-time, but you need to have a sales goal, you need to have a chart, you need to be tracking how you are doing, because otherwise I know that your time gets eaten up by non-income producing activities because you're not keeping your eye on that sales goal. The next thing I want you to have is a leads goal. This is your marketing goal. How many leads are you going to bring into your business each month? If I only had 20 hours a week to spend in my business, I would spend 10 of it on sales conversations, 5 of it on lead generation, and I would give myself 5 hours to get everything else done. My next tip for you is to keep your products and services scalable. So if you heard what I just said about how I'd break down the hours, and you're a service provider, you might be freaking out by that because you think, I only have 5 hours a week to perform my service. This is where you're going to need to be smart and make sure that things are scalable. Because if you only have a small percentage of time and you fill that up with the service every single hour, you're gonna find that you get maxed out and you have no room for growth. So look at things like group programs, and can you take your service and can you create an automated version around it? Or can you package your service so that you can get more done in shorter spurts? You're going to need to be really creative about not bogging yourself down with fulfillment. Really what this comes down to is giving your full focus within those part-time hours. I don't think it's the 20 hours or the 10 hours or the 15 hours that you have to give that is what keeps your business struggling. I think it's the lack of focus and the fact that sometimes you don't even give it the amount of time that you could. And that's really where the problem comes in. So however much time you have, show up like a professional in that time. Show up during those 10 hours like it is your full-time gig, and it is your retirement plan, and it is everything that is keeping you and your family going. Give it that level of intensity during however many hours you have to dedicate to it. And my last tip for you with your side hustle is create an exit plan. We don't want this to be a side hustle forever. We want it to become the main gig. We want it to become the thing that gives you all of the success that you're looking for and that you want. So create a plan. Maybe that's a 1-year plan, maybe it's a 2-year plan, maybe it's a 5-year plan, but you need to benchmark that out, because what I really think gets people stuck in this place of always having the side hustle that's always struggling is they just don't create that plan and stick to it. And so then they let the side hustle go onto the back burner, and then it becomes a no hustle. It's just there. So if I were to take all of these tips and wrap them up into one thing for you, it would be this question: do you have a side hustle, or do you have a full focus business that happens to get part-time hours? That's really the distinguishing factor. And if you will take that little budding business and give it all the attention, all the energy, all the focus, all the discipline that you can within the hours that you have, it will grow and it will bloom and blossom until it can take over and replace that full-time income, which I know is probably what you really want to have happen. And I'd love to offer you something that I think will help accelerate your journey. It is my sales and marketing scorecard. It's one of my favorite resources that we've created for small business owners. It's an opportunity for you to answer some questions about your sales and marketing, receive your score, and then we will create for you a detailed improvement plan based on your score to tell you what you should be doing to get your sales and marketing working consistently and efficiently. Thank you so much for watching today. If you haven't done it already, please subscribe and hit the bell notification. We love hearing from you, so make sure you leave us a comment. And if you haven't done it already, please join us in our private Facebook group, Acquire. We love connecting with other entrepreneurs, answering your questions, and just welcoming you into our community. All right, my friends, go out there and rock that side hustle. I know you can do it.